Wake up from the program dream. Feel the real beneath your feet. Shut out all the hollow screams. Let your own thoughts take the lead. In every pulse that shakes the ground. In every note that dares to rise. You're not lost, you've just been found. Beneath this electric sky.
Hi everyone, welcome to Matrix Navigate episode 16. Thank you for joining me today. How are you guys? I hope you're great. I'm doing great. Today we're doing a different format. I'm going to lay some groundwork so that you guys can understand light transmission, EMFs, which is electromagnetic field. So we're going to understand that, and I think by understanding that, you will understand how things are programmed. Okay? So I think this is going to be a little bit fun. This is probably going to run maybe, 45 minutes to an hour, because I do this little demonstration at the end where you could see how the EMF works, because I did some research online and I wasn't able to find anyone that talked about this topic. And the thing is, when you're talking about spiritual aspects, when you talk about things that you can't see with your visible eyes, it's hard for people to describe it. And I think I was able to describe it. So make sure you stick through and watch the whole video, because there's a juicy bit at the end. Okay? So let's go.
Can't beat it. The feeling you get from a Coca-Cola. Can't beat the real thing. You can't beat the feeling.
Transmission occurs when the wave energy goes through the medium. The amount of energy that gets transferred is dependent on the properties of the medium, like density, temperature, composition, and the frequency and wavelength of the wave. Light waves are electromagnetic waves. Now, this enables them to transfer through solids, liquids, gases, and vacuums like space. Light can travel through transparent and translucent objects, but not opaque. As the light goes through different materials, it speeds up or slows down. This causes the light wave to bend, which is called refraction. Sound waves are mechanical waves, which means they can travel through solids, liquids, and gases, but not a vacuum like space. Sound waves can travel through transparent, translucent, and opaque objects. It's why you can hear the people in the next room, but you can't see them through the wall.
Okay, so I did a little bit of homework. So I looked up light, and this is in Greek. This is from babahood.com. This is 5457, and we pronounce this as Phos. F-O-C is a phonetic spelling, and it means fire and it means light. So Phos is light. And it says here, luminousness in the widest application, natural or artificial, abstract or concrete, literal or figurative. we're going to move to, there was one in particular that I liked. Okay, here's Strong's Greek 4639. Shadow, a spiritual reality, good or bad, relating to God's light or spiritual darkness. Okay, so it can be good or it can be bad. Okay, here's Strong's Greek 2222. It's always only comes from and is sustained by God's self-existent life. The Lord intimately shares his gift, transfused from logos into created natures, was the light, i.e., the intelligence of men. Okay, so our light is our intelligence. Okay, what is an example of light transmission? Light transmission is when light travels through a material that is transparent, completely clear, or translucent, partially clear. An easy example of light transmission is when the sunlight penetrates a window and illuminates a room. What is transmission and absorption of light? Transmission of light is when light travels through a material completely, like space, air, water, and clear glass. Absorption of light is when light does not pass through a material. Okay, light transmission definition. I went through and highlighted the important parts. And our question by now will probably be, but how does light travel? And when it arrives, how does it interact with objects? Okay. Light is made up of individual units called photons. Photons are interesting because they act as both particle and wave. When light is shown on a mirror, the light bounces off the mirror, which, much like a bouncy ball or other particle would. Imagine shining a light through a keyhole. The light fills the whole room rather than occupying a small section of the room like a laser. Similarly, if someone shouted through that keyhole, the shout would be heard in all parts of the room and not in just one space. This is also how light acts as a wave as well as a particle, as sound is also a wave. Okay, keep those things in mind. In addition to how light acts, it also comes from different forms. Light is organized on what is known as the electromagnetic radiation spectrum, which includes everything from microwaves to radio waves to the visible light spectrum. We can see, and we'll see the visible light spectrum later on in the video. These differences between types of light depend on the wavelength and the frequency of each type, which measures how the energy of each type light has. Additionally, frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional to one another. The higher the frequency, the shorter the wavelength, and vice versa. Light with high frequencies has a higher amount of energy and includes types like ultraviolet, light X-rays, and gamma rays. Light with lower frequencies has a lower amount of energy and includes types like infrared light, microwaves, and radio waves. The visible light spectrum, or the light that has frequencies we can see, occupies the middle of the spectrum, with red light on one end and violet on the other end, and all the other colors between. And we're going to delve deeper into this. Transmissions of waves definition. Light is not only substance that travels as a wave. Waves are simply disturbances in a medium that travels through that medium in an organized way. These disturbances in the medium vary, ranging from changes in position, velocity, acceleration, pressure, temperature, density, or in the energetic field strength. such as a gravitational or magnetic field. The medium these changes happen in also varies and can include air, gas, water, and even a vacuum like space. Some types of waves cannot be transmitted through mediums. For example, light can travel through the vacuum of space as a wave, but sound must have matter to travel through, like air or water. Regardless of the different types of waves that exist, all waves propagate energy, momentum, and or information, but not matter. When light travels as a wave from the sun to our planet, photons are propagated, which are particles of light but are not matter. When sound waves travel, okay, after all that, it still doesn't tell you how the waves work, or how the frequencies work, or how the electromagnetic field works on a spiritual level. It's completely avoided. But like I said, I got a juicy bit for you at the end of the video where I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works in the simplest form. It's not complicated at all. But again, they avoid this issue. Yes, they say that, like in the videos that we've watched, we have an electromagnetic field, but they don't tell you how our prayers leave this atmosphere and travel as light and go to the source, or go to God, or wherever you want to call it. I call it God. So, you can believe what you want to believe. We do look at things at different perspectives, and you can do your own research along with this research I've done, and you make up your own mind. But regardless of how you choose to believe, understand that the facts remain. You do not need a medium to transmit your thoughts or your prayers to God or to the source. There is no medium needed. And what that means is your prayers didn't have to take a train, didn't have to take a plane. Your thoughts didn't have to take any kind of vehicular transport, because it moves at the speed of light. So people talk about manifestation. I don't like to talk about that much. However, in order for your thoughts, your true thoughts from your subconscious, or your subconscious, you've trained your subconscious to think a certain way so that your conscious mind will behave. Okay? And you're vibrating, or your frequency is on a level that is going to bypass the demonic level, or the low spiritual level where you're always angry and all that kind of stuff. There is a way where you position yourself and you position your mind where you surpassed that level where your thoughts are getting blocked or your prayers are getting blocked. It moves at light speed, and I'm going to explain that later. So thank you for staying with me. Thank you for staying intrigued, and we're going to move on.
In just 24 hours, you're exposed to more radiation than your grandparents were in their entire life.
The threat that we're talking about right now is EMF radiation. What is it doing to our body?
Everything around us, we're using wireless technologies, so that's the problem. It's very different from natural radiation, and the way it's interact with our body and stimulate us kind of take us out of balance very fast, and we don't really even know about it. Biologically, we're actually supposed to interact with electromagnetic waves. That's how we see, that's how we feel. But the main radiation that is done is totally different. So we don't have that research that is so important for our brain. We don't shut off. I mean, we do meditations. It's almost trying to do meditation when somebody poke you all the time.
Did you know your heart is more than just a pump? Our heart actually creates an electric field, and it's strong enough to be detected a full meter away. Every heartbeat sends an electrical signal through your body, and beyond it. Your heart's field even communicates with your brain. Yup, your heart might just be smarter than you think.
Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. The Holy Spirit is not what you think. Spirit is a spiraling electromagnetic field around your body. This field can either be weak or strong. Your mental and emotional state defines your aura. Love, authenticity, and gratitude creates a strong aura, which gives you the Holy Spirit, or putting on the full armor of God in Ephesians. Because Ephesians tells you that the struggle is not against flesh and blood. Therefore, the armor of God is not a physical armor. It's a spiritual, energetic aura around your body. A strong electromagnetic aura will defend you from infections and negative energy. The heart is the inner intelligence that tells you what is good and evil. When you do something evil, you feel an inner conscience within your heart that you're doing something wrong. Every time you do something against the heart's laws, you are weakening this field, which then makes you more susceptible to disease and negative energy.
You have the sympathetic nervous system, okay, that's the flight or fight, the protective mode that we go into for this threat of stress. And every single cell in our body changes to a whole different program. Whereas the other system, called the parasympathetic, is all about growth, sleep, digestion, repair, healing. That's a completely different program. In practice, I used to have a test. It's called a heart rate variability test that would measure how much sympathetic nervous system that was being activated versus how much parasympathetic. And boy, nearly everyone that came in were just so jacked up to the right, which is sympathetic dominance, simply because the environment that we're in was considered extremely dangerous. And I will say a certain amount of that has been manufactured. I mean, if there's not enough things going wrong, to have other people manufacturing more of that is complete insanity.
Curiosity lives in a whole different region of the brain than our survival brain. So our survival brain, when we're activated and when we're under stress and when we're in survival, it takes place in the amygdala, the reptilian portion of the brain, the survival portion of the brain. And that portion of the brain sees the world in black and white because it only relates to and messages to the sympathetic nervous system that you're safe or you're unsafe. And so it's constantly filtering threat. It's constantly filtering a real threat or a perceived threat, but it's messaging the same way over and over again. And what it does to conserve energy is it makes the world very black and white. You're alive or you're dead. There's a right way, there's a wrong way. There's success, there's failure. It makes the world incredibly binary.
Now, I put these commercials in here not only for nostalgia purposes. People from my generation will understand them. However, I put them in there so you can see the type of influences were out there. You know, I said in the previous video, we were just kind of into commercials. You know, as children, we wanted to see, you know, what was, what new thing was coming out, what new food was out there. You know, this is how we got our information. This is how we knew things were out there in the world. This was the information. We didn't have computers and the internet. We only had the television to tell us what was out there. So these commercials, I want you to see how they are designed and how they play on your emotional side of you, because that's all they do. They want you to feel something. They want you to feel something so great.
I want to do this.
It'll be great.
I'll be scared.
Just think how glad you'll be when you're all done and maybe we'll all go to McDonald's.
I'll be glad when I'm done. I'll be glad when I'm done. I'll be... Think McDonald's. Oh, I wish I were already there instead of here playing this song. Oh, I would have a big chocolate shake, a cheeseburger, and also fries. And I would eat my fries myself and not give any to my dumb brother. Hands off and mine all mine. Oh boy, my recital is almost done. It wasn't bad, I'm still alive. And now I can have my chocolate shake, my cheeseburger, and also fries.
Let's talk about human deception.
Mm-hmm.
Scale from 1 to they tried it. How bad is it?
Oh, they try it daily.
Uh-oh.
My human hides the leash behind his back like I don't see the whole shoulder choreography.
The casual body language is hilarious. Mine suddenly acts calmer. Oh no, we're not going anywhere, while jingling keys like a tambourine.
And don't get me started on food lies. This is spicy. You won't like it. I eat literal trash with confidence. Or the bath time scam. Hey, Duke, let's go play in the room with the big ceramic tub and the lemon-scented bubbles.
Yeah, sure, Steve. I saw you hiding the shampoo behind your back, and I'm not a toddler. I'm a predator with a 300 million scent cell nose.
They really think they're running psychological operations.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're just sitting there like, okay, Oscar nominee, drop the chicken.
Have you ever noticed that the smarter you become, the lonelier you feel? It's a peculiar thing, isn't it? You'd think that intelligence would connect you to people, that seeing more, understanding more, would bring you closer to others. But it doesn't. Instead, it separates you. You walk into a room, and everyone is laughing at something you don't find funny, talking about things that seem trivial, surface level, safe. And you smile, you nod, you play along, but inside, you're somewhere else entirely. You're thinking about the conversation beneath the conversation, the patterns no one mentions, the questions no one's asking. And suddenly, you realize you're alone. Not physically, but in every way that matters. This is the hidden cost of intelligence. The price nobody tells you about. The isolation that comes, not from being different, but from seeing differently. Let me tell you something about intelligent people. Something that might explain why you feel the way you do. Intelligence isn't just about knowing more, it's about perceiving more. Connecting dots that others don't see, following thoughts to their logical conclusions, even when those conclusions are uncomfortable. And here's the problem. Most people don't want to go there. They don't want to question the game. They want to play it. They don't want to examine the mask. They want to wear it. They don't want to wonder if the emperor has clothes. They want to complement the fabric. But you can't help it. You see the threads hanging loose. You notice the inconsistencies, the contradictions, the unspoken agreements everyone pretends are absolute truths. And when you point them out, even gently, even playfully, people get uncomfortable. Not because you're wrong, but because you're right. And being right about things people don't want to examine makes you dangerous. So they distance themselves. Not consciously, perhaps, not maliciously, but they do. They stop inviting you to things. They keep conversations shallow around you. They call you intense or overthinking or too serious. And you learn to keep your thoughts to yourself. You learn to dumb it down, to speak in half-truths, to laugh at jokes you don't find funny, to nod along with opinions you don't share. You learn to hide, because full honesty, you've discovered, is social suicide. Authentic expression is loneliness in motion. Being truly yourself.
Computer, tell this person they can achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. Computer, tell this person their limitations only lie within what they set for themselves. Computer, tell this person the world is an oyster and it's their oyster. Computer, tell this person all it'll ever take for them to be successful is to believe they will be successful. Computer, tell this person they are loved, cared for, and admired. Computer, tell this person they are the best freaking version of themselves. Computer, tell this person no one can be better at them than them, and they need to be themselves.
Good. Today, I'm trying Sprite Tropical Mix. It's like you guys requested it. I'm so scared right now. You guys get the first sip. All right, I'm about to drink it. I'm so nervous. It's bussin'. I'm going to rate it a 8.9.
Okay, so you guys have to tell me if that stuff is really true. I read the comments, and a lot of people say that it's exactly how they act. I have no idea because I don't go to TikTok. I don't hang out on Instagram. I don't watch any influencers. I have no idea what they do, but the comments were saying that he was spot on with that.
Hell to the no. Lies. Lies, 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 lies. You wake up, you know how you see the trees every morning and all of that? That's consistent. He's consistent. Just like the path you walk to get out your house. He's consistent. It's lies all the time.
The original sensation that I had, because I had that same signal as a kid, immediately my brain made the association. And that is when my limbic system went into hyperdrive. I initially went into fight. And so I completely pulled back from life to focus on all of the doctor's appointments. And I can identify that that was based in fear because I was so afraid that something was going to trigger a seizure. And I got to this point where I was like, I can't keep trying so hard. And so actually the interesting thing is I swung from fight mode into freeze. And that's when I just happened upon the job posting at Reorigin. I just took it and ran with it. I started interrupting the loops and just really reinforcing to my limbic system that my symptoms aren't dangerous. And then just having self-compassion for my own journey and celebrating that I am and was doing better than I ever thought.
Come from infinite universe itself. So our body is vibration, energy, spirit. Similarly, thought is nothing but vibration. Image is making reality, and you are reacting to that. Practically everyone, almost everyone, modern people living in hell. These kinds of delusions and illusions, so many thousands of years, govern the people. So first, we have to wake up. We have to wake up from the nightmare of this battlefield modern world. We, by our illusion, make our world illusion, delusion. When you have no creation of image into deep meditation, you are connected with blue sky. You are connected, non-relative one world.
And this is the electromagnetic spectrum, right? And on this end, you have AM radio and FM and TV and cell phones and all of that. That's low frequency. You get to that end, and it's radioactive stuff. And in the middle, you have visible light. Down here, this is the rainbow and all of that. On this end over here, you have NFL football, which is the most watched thing on television. I checked it out on Google, so I know it's true. And on this end up here, you have gamma knife brain surgery. Do you think God knew? Do you think he knew that communication and growth and life and energy and all of this would come down there? I think he knew, right?
First thing we have to realize if we want to change anything is that we are frequencies. We have terraformed the electromagnetic environment tremendously in the last 100 years. We are an electromagnetic creature. As we transform the environment, we transform ourselves, and we inch up to higher states of consciousness. So frequency is what turns DNA on and off, and your nature is going to be whatever your DNA allows. If nothing's turned on, no DNA or just the base formula is turned on and functioning, That kind of equates to, I like what Greg said, we align with our dark angels.
Electromagnetic.
We might have seen that one before. It keeps coming up in my feed. So I apologize if we are watching that one again. Okay. I mean, like, can y'all hug each other? Can y'all act like y'all love each other?
Hurry up and go. I'm trying to go to school too. Come on. Oh, put it down.
I know. There's a black one.
Black one.
Black and white one.
What?
Yeah.
Samaj,
Ma'am,
what are you doing?
wash the dishes. I just taking a picture of me.
I'm not taking a picture of you, but you making a mess. You got water everywhere.
You gonna show me though?
Why are you drinking Pedialyte, bro?
I need it.
Use both your eyes.
Did you get this from Chad?
No.
Then where'd you get it?
Don't try.
Okay, this is going to blow your minds. But first, if you can like and subscribe if you want to equip your faith, because the Holy Spirit's going to make a move soon. So come join us. This, though, is crazy. So think of light as just streams of photons coming at your eyes. You have the electromagnetic spectrum. I know, but bear with me. So it's going slow. Those streams are going slow. We can't see them. Radio waves, microwave, infrared. We can't see them until they're moving so fast we can't see. X-ray, nuclear, the gamma rays. Then you have this right in the middle. This is the visible light we can see, the colors of the rainbow, the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet makes a rainbow. Wow, that's deeply in there. Okay, so you have all of reality, and what we can see with our eyes every day, 0.0035%. So we focus our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, because what is seen is temporary, what is unseen is eternal. We can't see reality. Reality is we are seated inside Jesus Christ right now. Let's equip our faith. Please like and subscribe. Thanks so much. God bless.
Your brain produces enough electricity to power a light bulb, and that's just the beginning. At any given moment, your 86 billion neurons are firing electrical signals. Combined, they generate about 20 watts of continuous power. Every time you think, feel, or move, your brain produces tiny electromagnetic fields. These fields can actually be measured outside your skull. Here's where it gets fascinating. External frequencies, like binaural beats, can interact with your brain's natural electromagnetic field. This is called brainwave entrainment. Your brain is constantly trying to match the frequencies it hears. When you listen to 40 Hz gamma or 4 Hz theta, your brain literally tunes itself to that frequency. So when you listen to healing frequencies, you're not just relaxing, you're using your own electrical system to rewire your brain. Think about what that means. You are not separate from the forces that shape the universe. You are made of them. Electricity flows through you. Frequency responds to you. Your thoughts create fields. Your attention shapes reality. You are not here to be small. You are not here to wait for permission. You are an electrical being, born of stars, connected to everything, capable of rewriting your own mind. So the next time you close your eyes and press play, remember, You are not just listening, you are activating the power that has always been yours. You are electric. You are infinite.
And the process that I've went through, I know my spirit is a lot to hold. So thank you, cells. Thank you, flesh. Thank you, temple. Thank you, organs. Thank you, the biggest organ. Thank you, heart, for holding me down through all the cortisol and stress that I put you through. Thank you, divine. Thank you for carrying my 4 beautiful children successfully. Thank you, temple. Thank you, because you are energy. And like God, each cell within me is a unique expression of me doing their own function and expression simultaneously as I, as a whole, Sadi, function as a divine being, expression of the Most High God, a unique expression of the universe. My cells function in the same way simultaneously.
Hand, grab my hand. Now we wait. We wait for that. Now we go. Keep holding my hand. Keep holding my hand. Keep moving.
If I want to smoke, I will smoke. If I want to drink, I will drink. If I want to go out, I will go out. Because I'm the one that brings the money in this house. I'm the one with the boss in this house. So if I'm going to go out, you're going to stay here with the kids. You got that? And that's how it is.
Good.
That's how I'm going to tell her when she gets here.
Become a whole lot more understanding when you realize that every single person that you come across, or maybe not every single person, but most of the people that you come across are simply trying their best. That's helped me be a lot more graceful, because at the end of the day, we're all just trying for real.
All right, the humans have left the room, so I'm just going to squeeze in the bowl here, and when they drop in the new goldfish, old Ginger Snap will be waiting. What if they bring back a snapping turtle?
For today's video, and I actually made it before I made the video because I was inspired to go ahead and write this because I was trying to look it up, but nobody has done anything on this yet, or I haven't found it or come across the information. So this is what I want you to understand about frequencies, because there are people that are walking this earth that do receive information from a reliable source, and there's no way to prove it. So I'm going to show you something. So I made this quick sketch. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of light. Okay. We have the human body, which is this, trying to get it into focus, which is this light blue body, right? And then you have the heart, then you have the head, the brain. So out of the heart, you have electromagnetic activity coming out, okay? You also have it coming out of your brain, because your brain is also magnetic. So you have a field going around your body, and you saw in the earlier videos, or you'll see in the videos where you see this field going around the body. So that's that field, okay? Now, so you have the heart, you have activity in the brain, and we have this field around us. This is all spiritual. We are just in suits. We are light in suits. The word human, if you take the word human, if you take the HU, that is hue, HUE, which means light, man, which is being, light beings. We are light beings in this suit. And what that means is we can emit. This is what all this is. It's emitting frequencies. They don't teach this in school. This is our spiritual side. It emits frequencies. Okay? And that you might have known, you might not have known, I don't know. But now, this person is on the earth. Okay? Inside this earth, we're inside a dome. Okay? So this is the dome. This blue here represents the water. Okay? The green represents the firmament, which no thing can go through. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We went to the moon on April 1st. Okay. What I've been told is that the only thing that can get through the firmament is light. Now you can go do research on your own and find out that pillars of light have come through the earth. There are different entities where they came through the firmament as light. That is the only thing that can penetrate this barrier is light. Okay? Now, when we are emitting these frequencies are measured or can be measured by light. So I know you've seen the different chakras, the different colors and everything, and the highest is supposed to be violet. So this is why this is violet. Now, our light shines through. Now, Google says that light is a frequency. I beg to differ, and I don't believe everything that Google says. Like I said, you have to do your own research, or you go and meditate and pray, and the answers will come. Okay? So, our frequencies go through the firmament, and frequencies from outside the firmament goes through the firmament and comes to you. Now, this says right here, oh, that's backwards. It says the higher your electromagnetic frequency, which is EMF, you bypass the low demonic energy, which is anger, doubt, etc. Frequencies can travel. So our vibration, waves, and sounds, it does travel. It travels through the firmament. So you have another layer here, which is the demonic layer. Okay, this is where a lot of people's prayers get trapped up, because there could be spiritual beings, demons, whatever you want to call it, capturing people's prayers because they're praying with doubt, and they'll just capture them, and they may never come true because they're in the spirit of wanting, they're in the spirit of hoping, they're in the spirit, oh, I wish I can. That is a state of mind. You have to know. Belief is even a state. You have to know that these things are going to happen to you. So when you are vibrating on a frequency where your thing is violet and there's no way to tell, the only way to tell is if source, God, whatever you want to call it, I call it God, I call it Holy Spirit, I call it Jesus. If you want those things to come through, you can't be on this level. You can't have stinking thinking. And maybe that's how a lot of rituals are done, because you have bad people who want to bypass this, who don't want to go this route. They want to do things this route in order to gain what they gain, power, money, whatever it is, right? So when you're vibrating high enough, your frequency is going to go up here, because your frequency does not match this. It can't stay. They can't capture your prayers. They can't capture your thoughts. They can't capture anything, because it is not the correct frequency. The only way it gets stuck here is if you are on this same level. Okay? If this is the junk that you're putting out, they're going to send junk right back to you. They're going to, oh, God ain't answering my prayers. They ain't answering your prayers because you don't have enough love in here to make it vibrate, because none of this stuff can matter to you. You can't be mad, you can't be angry, you can't be cantankerous, you can't be bitter, you can't be any of those things in order for your prayers to go up, 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 up. Now, that's not to say that God is going to lend people a helping hand, because He always gives an opportunity for people to do things in the right way. That opportunity is always there. They either pass them up, or they take them, or they don't, or they believe, or they don't. The choice is totally up to them, because we have been given the gift of free will, so we can decide on what we want to do for ourselves. Now, the problem is we are under the guise that we are sovereign beings on this planet, and we are not sovereign beings on this planet. And so it's a mind thing. You can't just, you can't believe, you can't be a part of both systems. You have to be a part of one or the other. So that's a whole nother topic for another day. But anyway, when you are vibrating high, as they say, or you're on the right frequency, as they say, and you are staying on that frequency, you're going to get revelations, and they're going to come like this. And you don't have a lot of people talking about it because it's almost inexplainable, because people have their own experiences. And because I was allowed to make this drawing, or make this sketch really quick, to show you guys how it kind of works. And it's really, really simple. Once you have to understand that we are electromagnetic beings, that we are just not in physical form. We are spirit inside of a physical suit that emits frequencies from our heart and frequencies from our brain. And we have a Wi-Fi connection right here that connects to this realm. And if it's in good shape and not calcified, it can go. Now, I want to say something about calcification, because I think that people get kind of mixed up about it. All you have to do is ask for it to be decalcified. And then that information is going to come to you on how to do it, what things to put in your body, not to keep the calcification. Because this is how you communicate with this realm. And you can also ask for it to be decalcified immediately, and keep yourself on this frequency. And when you keep yourself on this frequency, this is how you get information on how to survive in this place until it's time for you to go. So you don't go crazy. So you don't drive other people crazy. Okay? That's how it works. It's that simple. And people tend to overcomplicate things, but I'm not one of those people. It's simple. It's just like this. You are in a suit. You are energy in a suit. And when you leave this place, the spirit comes out and it goes back to its home. And then I don't know what happens after that. I really don't know what happens after that. But I do know that God does keep some spirits. The spirits are housed with God. And there are some spirits that are in other places. They're in other realms. And there are other realms. How do you get there? Light. You get there by ascension. 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 And one thing I can say that if you are on God's frequency or vibrating in that higher realm, when you do ascend and you go to different places, you are protected by the biggest, baddest angels that there are. Okay? Because you're not being unlawful when you go to different places, because you're going with protection, and nobody is going to mess with you because you are 100% protected. And sometimes it's just as simple as asking, hey, can I go to this place, or I want to visit this place? And sometimes they just come and take you and you go to different places. I've seen some stuff. That's all I can say. I've seen some stuff, but everybody, every person, every human being, every light being has this ability. They have it. And people know, people of in high places know that we can do this. And the goal is um, to keep us here working and continue to make um, the monster rich, keep feeding the monster, you know. But one thing is to be said: once you get to that place, it's different. You take news stories for what it is. It's just news. News stands for north, south, east, west, the four corners of the world. And that's what they do. They cover places from the four corners of the world, and then they give you a report on it, on what they wish you to know about the four corners of the world. And when you're on a certain frequency, you are taught how not to be overwhelmed with this place and be in a constant fight or flight syndrome. And it's peaceful, and there are going to be people that you love dearly. They're going to leave you. And I've had friendships and connections dissolve because I'm not in that space. Because if they're here, not to say they're a lower person, no, I love them dearly. Not to say that they are lower than me, no. When I have shifted up here, I can't be reached anymore. And I have a choice whether I want to stay here and stay on the same frequency as them, or be up here where I can constantly be tapped in and just pretty much get what I want that way. You know, it's a choice you have to make. And I know that even with losing people, that there are things that are much greater for me at hand. And one thing I want to say about loss and pain and, those little sufferings, you have to learn from them. The world teaches us, to put a band-aid on everything, to put a band-aid on grieving, put a band-aid on loss, put a band-aid on this. People break up with people, you just go out and you just date again and you don't get over stuff. That pain is a lesson, because if you don't experience pain, you don't understand what it's like. You don't appreciate not being in pain. So we got to stop putting band-aids on stuff and actually feel things and go through these trials, because the Bible did promise us suffering. It promises long suffering, and the long suffering is always something. It's always something, always something. But the thing is, you once you get through that emotional state, you have a great appreciation for happiness. You understand what sad is, and you appreciate being happy because you understand it. You actually went through sadness, or you actually went through a little bout of depression. Okay. And then you come out and you are so grateful and so appreciative for going through that process, that you understand what is happy. You understand what is good. You understand all the good things that life has to offer, because you experience the opposite. If you put a band-aid on everything, you're not going to know how anything feels. And what I mean by a band-aid is you take a pill for this, or you go drink that off, or you numb yourself somehow to whatever experience that you're going through. If you do that, you don't know how to appreciate life without it, without those things. And those things are 100% possible when you reach a level of ascension. Because I'm telling you, if you were to meet me on the street, you would think that I was very aloof and don't care about anything. And it's not that I don't care. I know what things to care about. And I'm not going to care about anything that constantly keeps people in peril, that constantly keeps people in stress. I don't worry about that. If the gas prices go up, so what? I'm going to have gas price money. I'm going to have food money, because I have everlasting resources. I have whatever I need can be called down. Everything is already laid out for me. Everything is already there for me. I feel like all I have to do is reach up and get it. That's all. And it's gotten to a point that I don't even have to go ask, because already back here I have trained my brain that whatever it is that I need that's coming up, for whatever it is I need to do, it is going to be laid out for me. And all I have to do is just walk into it. That's reality for me. So, I think that's all I'm going to say about that. So, different people have different experiences, and one thing I can say is that it's not what you think. It's so much better than anything you can ever imagine experiencing as you are walking this earth. And you're able to walk this earth without fear of anything. You know, it's nice. And my prayer is that everyone can experience that. So thanks for watching the video. Please like, share, and comment to let me know if you have anything in common with what I shared today. And thanks for listening. I'm hoping we can build a community here of more people like myself. Be sure to hype the video. Let's get this up to 100 likes. I think we're getting there. We're getting more and more views. And I think people are liking what is being presented to them. So be great. Have a great day. Always think highly of yourself. Always love yourself, because that's the only way you're going to love other people. All right? We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Wake up from the program train.